Good morning and welcome to Art Detectives with the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts. Today we are going to read a story, look at art, and make a project. And today's story is called Toy Boat by Randall Deseve and illustrated by Lauren Long. And let's get started. A little boy had a toy boat. He made it from a can, a cork, a yellow pencil, and some white cloth. The boy loved the boat, and they were never apart. They bathed together, they slept together. He made his own beautiful toy boat. And every day, they would go down to the lake and sail all afternoon. The boy held the boat by a string and never let go. Most of the time, this was nice for the boat, but sometimes the little toy boat would look out at the big boats gliding across the lake and would wonder what it would feel like to be free. Sail free. One blustery afternoon, a dark cloud rolled over the lake. The boy's mom pulled him back towards the house, and her tug made him drop the toy boat string. The boy cried out as the little toy boat floated away. "Boat," he called, "boat." But nothing could be done. Water and rain pushed the little toy boat into deep water. There it bobbed on high waves topped with foam. In time, a black and green tugboat with a row of old tires on its side chugged past. Its windows looked like tired eyes that seemed to say, "Move along," as it pushed the little toy boat aside in its wake. The little toy boat worked so hard to stay afloat, it almost didn't see the giant ferry in its path. The ferry had two red flags and a red smokestack and a horn that bellowed, "Move along." A gust of wind blew the little toy boat out of the way just in time. A speedboat raced by, flat and sharp with flames on its side. Its motor screamed, "Move along." Its draft made the little toy boat sail quiver. Feeling small and scared, the little toy boat drifted out toward a fleet of sailboats racing home to get out of the rain. There's the tiny toy boat and all the big sailboats. The little toy boat neared a large sloop. Its hull was white and its sails were trimmed in blue. For a moment, the two boats cut through the choppy waves side by side, and the little toy boat felt big. Then the white boat tilted high on its side, spraying the little toy boat with water, warning, "Move along." Its hull near full, its sails soaked, the little toy boat looked like it would sink. How it missed the boy. Under the yellow moon, the little toy boat drifted all night, alone and scared. Oh, and the moon is sad for him. He's got a sad face. But then, early the next morning, put, 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 it was a humble little fishing boat way out in the middle of the lake. Its paint was peeling, and the dents on its side said it knew how it felt to be pushed around on the lake. The fishing boat spied the little toy boat and carefully began to circle it. And as it did, something wonderful happened. The little toy boat began to turn as well, and its sail caught a breeze. Soon it was sailing, really sailing, alongside the fishing boat, and the little toy boat felt strong. "I am moving along," it shouted to the wind. It felt so good that it didn't notice when the fishing boat motored on. It didn't notice the stone beach or the yellow bench on the nearby shore. And it didn't notice the boy. Not until the boy called out, "Boat, boat." The little toy boat waved its sail excitedly, and the boy waved back. That night they bathed together, they slept together, and the next day they went down to the lake together. The boy held the boat by a string, and every so often it let go. But the little toy boat always came back. It knew just where it wanted to be. So that's a really lovely little story about a toy boat and a friendship with a little boy and going out into the world and learning something about itself. So we are going to very quickly look at some boats. So this is with the Kalamazoo Institute of Arts, and we have got some boats in our permanent collection of art. So we are going to look at some art of boats. Can you see the screen? I'm going to ask you, what does a boat look like to you? So the first boat we are going to look at is Fishing Boats in a Normandy Port, or Untitled, by Hale Woodruff. And we can see that this boat has got a sail, and it looks like there might be 3 boats in a row with their sails up, and then several boats with their sails down, or their sails haven't been attached yet. And some of the boats look, pretty big, maybe to hold lots of fish, and some of them look small. So that's one way an artist has portrayed a boat, and it's been done in oil paint. And we can see it's on the water, and it's realistic, but it's not super, super realistic, right? It's not highly detailed. But then we have this one called Boat Abstraction 1 by Robert Goodnow. And I can tell there's a boat in there, right? This looks like the bottom of the boat. And this looks like maybe where driving a steering wheel would be. And maybe this is a sun or a mountain in the background, but it's not super realistic. It's abstract. And this one by Richard Bozeman, Porthole 11, is cool because it's looking from inside of a boat to the outside. And we're looking at other boats in the water at night. This is Boat-Shaped Vase by Masahiko Ichino. So we can see that same sort of sloping shape of a boat, but we don't see a sail or we don't see any oars or anything else. So it's the artist's idea of a boat shape, and then it's a vase. So perhaps we could put things inside of it if we had it at our home. This is a photograph by Christopher Light, Lobster Boats in Bernard Harbor, Maine. And so this is a picture of real boats. It's in black and white. And it looks like it's a foggy day. So we're seeing different mediums or kinds of art, like ceramic, photo, oil paint, how different artists have done things, screen print. And then this is a watercolor, Canal and Dordrecht by Johann Barthold Jonkind. And it's kind of a little impressionistic, and it's from 1860 to 1880 watercolor. It's very nice. And we see oars. We've seen steering wheels, we've seen sails, and this time we're seeing oars. And then there are other boats out here like this one with the flag and the sail is down. that is the last picture of a boat we're going to look at. I'm going to stop my share. And now we are going to make a toy boat. So here's a boat that I made. We're going to use a pool noodle, some popsicle sticks, and you might want some paper so that you can draw a sail, and a straw so that you can put it inside. Tape or glue dots or other things like that are useful. Scissors are useful so that you can get oars or a sail inside, and then crayons or other coloring utensils. So this is what I made, and I named it the SS Artie after Artie Mouse. You can also do it, you can have it this way or you can have it this way. And if you have a pool noodle, the really cool thing is then you can go and you can either put it in a bathtub or in a sink or in a pool or any kind of water, and it will float. So let's see how to do it. The very first thing you'd have to do is you would have to cut it in half, and you would need an adult's help for this. You might want to use a box cutter or a Stanley knife. That's kind of one of the easier ways I found to do it. And if you got your pool noodle from the KIA, it's already been cut for you, so you don't have to worry about that. But if you're using it at home, maybe a box cutter, maybe some scissors, maybe a sharp kitchen knife with an adult helping you out, and you just kind of cut down. And I'm going to cut down so that there's more. I'm going to cut like not down the middle. I'm going to cut towards one end so that my boat will be a little bit bigger, and then your boat will kind of have some things sticking up, and just, you know, tear them off or use some scissors or something like that to kind of clean it up a little bit. And it will make a little bit of a mess, but not too much of a mess. And then you'll have a little bit left on this side, so maybe you could use it to make a flat boat, like this one or something else. All right, so you got your boat started, and then you need to make a sail. So if you got your thing from the KIA, you have already got a sail shape drawn out, and you can go ahead and color it however you want to color it. But if you're joining us from home, I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. So my table is a little bumpy, so my my thing might look a little bumpy, but like you're going to draw a triangle, but a triangle with, you know, one longer side. So like half of a box, let's say, half of a square. And then just color it in however you want. I won't spend too much time on this for the at-home people that are doing this with us. I'll just do a little example how I might color it in. Maybe some stripes are nice. And then I would like a little flag at the top of my sail. So I'll draw a little flag and give it some little stripes. And then you would cut it out like this one that I have here. After you cut it out, you'll need to put some holes in it. And I think if you are at home, I already put the holes in it. If you have a hole punch, that's super awesome. But otherwise, you could use scissors and kind of just bend the paper to get the space to make the hole. But I have a hole punch, so I'm going to put one hole at the bottom, and then I'll do one hole at the top, although I have to cut in to get there. And the reason for the hole is so that you need to make a mast, and a mast is the wooden log that goes from the deck, the floor of the ship, all the way up, and it's what the sail goes on. So if you have a straw, plastic straw, paper straw, or a stick, if you have a stick at home, if you have a straw, the straw is your mast. And you would take your sail And I'm going to come in from the front so that the most of my mast is on the back of my sailboat or my sail. And I would just go in like this. So now I've got a mast. And if you made a small flag, which I seem to have lost my previously colored one, but if you made a small flag, you could glue it on. If you're at home and you got your kit from the KIA, I think I gave you some glue dots. So you can just take that little funny circle, and that's a glue dot, and then you can stick it on and it stays on very well. Or if you have some tape, you can tape it to the back. And then using some scissors, just make a little hole in the middle so that you can put in your boat. Or sorry, you can put in your mast. And this is also where tape helps because it could help your sail stay in place. Just gonna wiggle it to get it in a little bit further. You could always use your scissors to make it deeper if you needed to. And I might need to do that in a bit, but first we'll just say like that. And then if you're doing this at home with us and you got your kit from the KIA, you also got some popsicle sticks. And I already cut these for you. And the reason I provided some popsicle sticks is not because necessarily your sailboat needs to have oars, but I just thought it would help give your sailboat some stability while it's sitting on a table or the floor. If you're doing it at home, you can just use some scissors to cut through some sort of situation where you can use some scissors to just kind of poke a hole into the side, and then you can stick them in. And if you have something like glue at home, you could always, like some wet glue, you could always put some wet glue inside to help it stay put. But that's the basic way of how to make a boat. Cut a pool noodle in half, have a straw or a stick of some kind, draw a sail, stick the sail in with your mast using some scissors or a knife or something with an adult's help. And if you want to add some oars for stability, and then you go and you put it in some water and it will float just like a toy boat. So thank you so much for joining us today.